If you played Wolvesville since November 2022, then without a doubt you have seen Assassins Convention. But what is the easiest way to win that game mode? Well, of course, winning your Hangman games at night. That is why I rank the letters based on how often you will see them, so that you can stop wasting your lives and see the words quickly. Let's go. Numbers 26 and 25. Q and X. These two letters literally don't appear in any role names, at least if you look at English names. Don't bother filling in either of these letters. I accidentally did it once and it's just a guarantee life less. Number 24. Z. Zombie. It's probably not worth filling in Z. Number 23. J. J appears 3 times, always as first letter. Jailer, Junior Werewolf, and Jelly Wolf start with it. That's it. Number 22. K. K appears 6 times, namely in Serial Killer, Marksman, Baker, Kitten Wolf, Werewolf Berserk, and Wolf Trickster. The K tends to be in a lot of battles, as you can see, and with just 6 appearances it's not worth trying this letter first either. Number 21. Y. Y is still a very rare letter with only 8 roles that have it. Bodyguard, Red Lady, Mayor, Tough Guy, Ghost Lady, Analyst, Grumpy Grandma, and Jelly Wolf. Number 20. V. The V appears 9 times and that is the last letter in the 1-digit category. The Avenger is one of the few roles that has a V in it and is without a doubt the best role in the game as well. Number 19. B. We are making our first big leap to a letter with 14 appearances. Number 18. P. The P only appears 1 more time than the B, so you will see it 15 times in the role list. 2 roles you can see it, for example, are the Pacifist and, you guessed it, the Wolf Pacifist. Number 17. H. And this one also appears to appear 17 times. The Hunter roles take a decent portion of that, but which one is better? Headhunter or Beast Hunter? Number 16 and 15. C and M. That stands for centimeter, and they are also quite rare with just a frequency of 19. Did you know that 7 out of 11 random killing rolls have a C and or M in the name? Number 14. G. Grumpy Grandma. No. The G is actually the first letter of a couple of roles, so may you fill in the G, you might see it at the very beginning. 20 times is how often you will see it in total. Number 13 and 12. D and U, with 22 times. The 2 detective roles might be the most notable D words, and you should subscribe. Number 11. F. F for the F that does not make the top 10 most common letters. The F actually doesn't appear extremely often in Village and solo roles, namely only 8 times, but since almost every Wolf-sided role has an F in Wolf, you will see it 28 times in total. We are now in the top 10 with number 10, W. This is my favorite letter, Wolvesville starts with it, and it appears extremely often in, you guessed it, werewolf-sided roles. Roles that include the word werewolf and not just wolf even got a double W. Quadruple U? In fact, it only appears 4 times in Village. Number 9. N. The N is with 32 times represented and a pretty safe pick, I would argue, for a game of Hangman. N is, in contrast to W, a very versatile pick since it appears everywhere, anywhere. Number 8. S. The S appears often in a lot of roles, but especially in the Seer category. Aura Seer, Spirit Seer, Seer, Seer Apprentice, Wolf Seer, you name it, all have an S. Heck, even the Sorcerer and the Sheriff start with an S. The Finalist has an S, so does the Analyst. I would argue that only the S rule does not count for the Red Lady if you count her as an informer, for the Detective, Mortician and Gambler. The S appears 35 times in total. Do you know what appears 45 times? Yes, exactly, the T of times. Or the T of Tough Guy or Trapper. This one is like the N. It does appear in a buttload of names, so it's hard to go wrong with it. The letter that almost made the top 5, but sits in spot 6 is the letter I. I of I suck and I am the Wolvesville God. This letter is rumored to appear in some role names 3 times, like in Violinist and Illusionist. Now top 5, and we kick this off with almost 50 appearances, just 49s. The letter L. Well, the L is again a letter that appears often in the werewolf team, since Wolf has an L as third letter, duh. But unlike W and F, the L actually does appear in quite a few Village roles too, like Vigilante, Jailer and the Lady roles. Serial killer even has 3 L's. I suppose this role is very susceptible for taking L. Again, we make a leap of 2 more appearances to hit the first letter of the alphabet, aka the A. A is very common as first letter, just count with me. Alchemist, Alpha Werewolf, Analyst, Arsonist, Astronomer, Overseer and Avenger. Other than that, it still appears very often, and this is one of the first letters that you should consider when it becomes nighttime, or preferably before that. The top 3 starts with the O, and you will see it 52 times. That is just one more time than the A. O is the last letter that appears in every werewolf-sided role, including Sorcerer. Voodoo Werewolf even has 5 O's. Now we are going to make a big leap to number 2, and where you see O at 52 times, you will see this letter R 76 times. R might be the most common letter outside of the werewolf team, in fact, since the word werewolf only has 1 R in it, and the number 1 on this list, which unsurprisingly is the letter E with 85 appearances, is found twice in every werewolf. Only Witch, Loudmouth, Cupid, Wolf Shaman, Shadow Wolf, Fool, Bandit, Night Watchman, Tough Guy, Ghost Lady, Analyst, Violinist, Pacifist, Wolf Pacifist, Split Wolf and Cannibal do not have an E or R in it. That sounds like a long list, but trust me, that is 16 roles as of right now, and there are almost 80 roles in the game. Before we end this, I want to say that I did not include seasonal roles in this list, nor the random categories or roles that are being tested or have been tested. It did include roles from the other category though, that is Villager, President and Regular Werewolf. And I also added the Fortune Teller. I'm not so sure which roles can appear in the Hangman game, especially because I've only played 3 games of it, but it's safe to say that the R and the E are by a long shot the safest bet if you happen to play Hangman in Assassins Convention. What is also a very safe bet is using code HYPO in Wolvesville. If you do so, you can indirectly support me with all your in-game purchases. I repeat, use code HYPO. An even better way to support me and actually foremost support your own brain is by subscribing to this channel and clicking on the video right here. I got a very good video for you. See you later in that video.